Back now on Triad today, we always like to welcome our friends from Mountain Valley Hospice and Palliative Care. They're able to come in once in a while, but not as often as we'd like. Next to me, our good friend Sheila Jones, who of course is Director of Development. Next to her, new guest to the program, Kathy Robertson, who's a nurse, and she's also on the Quality and Education team at Mountain Valley Hospice and Palliative Care. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Now, Sheila, I know you've gone through the drill on this before, but always, to me, you can't repeat this often enough in case people have missed a segment or something. But when you talk about what is hospice, you know, when people come into Mountain Valley, what's your thumbnail answer? What's your 30-second answer about what is hospice?
We provide care to terminally ill patients and their families. Do it in their homes or wherever they call home, and try to meet all their needs.
This is something that I want to talk about especially today. Is you had emailed me and said, let's talk about Kids Path, K-I-D-S-P-A-T-H, Kids Path. And it sounds like a fascinating program, but I want to learn more about it. Who wants to start off? Kathy?
Okay, I'll start. We realize that children cope with loss and grief much different than adults. Mountain Valley Hospice, we have been taking care of children for a long time that have been going through this.
Sure.
So in July...
You have a parent or a grandparent who's dying or in the last stages of life.
We've also had children that have been in the last stages of life.
Siblings.
And their siblings, you know, we try to work with the siblings.
Right.
But what has happened is we knew we needed a specialized program in order to enhance the program for the children. So we found out Greensboro has a program called Kids Path. In this Kids Path, they have a consortium of 11 different hospices across South Carolina, West Virginia, and North Carolina.
So it's not everywhere, just certain places.
Certain places.
Yes. And so we're just so excited to be part of Kids Path.
Well, now, if a teenager, let's say, I mean, it could be children of all ages, but a teenager especially needs help or counseling or needs to work through some grief or whatever, I mean, who do they call? How do they hook up? Because sometimes kids, just like adults, are reticent to say, oh, well, I saw, you know, Miss Robertson on TV, I'll just pick up the phone. They may not do that. I mean, what do they do? How do they get in touch with?
Usually just contact any one of our staff members, you know, through either one of the 7 locations, you know, calling our main number is the normal routine.
But you try to work with, I'm assuming you try to work with the parents, too, to say, look, little Johnny is going to have a rough time. Let us work with him. Does that happen?
Yes, it does. That's children in the grief support part. But the other piece of that is that we actually take care of children themselves who are terminally ill.
Right.
And so children's prognosis for terminally ill is their criteria to be in hospice is different from adults. Hospice's criteria to be admitted in to be a hospice patient, adults to be a hospice patient, that is, has a criteria of 6 months or less prognosis.
Okay.
Children, their prognosis for terminal illness is long as they may not live to their adulthood. So,
see, I did not know that.
They can be a child who may be 7, but they're not going to die in 6 months. It may be they may not die till they're 19 or 20.
And you want them to have a full life and a good quality life and their family, and so the counseling and the support comes in really good there.
Yes. And then there's some new laws that have been passed recently, so that it allows children in hospice to also receive their other services. That, you know, right now you know of a lot of children that probably are receiving in-home care or assistant care through Medicaid, Medicare, or whatever. Mostly, and if Medicaid passed this new thing, is that we can do hospice and those services at the same time. That way, the children and the family get both. They don't lose that track.
Of course, we're always trying to keep them and get donations, financial donations, volunteers, and all sorts of things. But especially with the Kids Path, you have a fundraiser coming up on July 29th. We have a few seconds left. Quickly, what is that about?
It's a golf tournament. We're going to hold a golf tournament at Cedarbrook Country Club in Elkin, and we'll be posting some information very soon on our website about that.
Now, I'm not good at golf, so I could actually send in, people who are not good at golf could send in a donation, right, Kathy?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and we have information on screen about that. I want to make sure we leave this up long enough. www.mtnvalley, of course, stands for Mountain Valley, hospice.org. The number, area code 336, there at the headquarters in Mount Airy, 789-2922. And of course, you're always on the lookout for volunteers to help on all the programs, right?
We're always, and especially with the Kids Path, you know, that's a different track. Volunteers that work with children.
That like to work with children.
That like to work with children. And, you know, we'll train them. We'll give them that special training to do what they need to do, but we need those to support these programs.
Well, I just think what you're doing is great, and good luck. We'll talk before the July 29th thing, but I just want to get a plug in for that, and especially people that want to volunteer or donate, but we wanted to learn about Kids Path. Thanks, Kathy and Sheila.
Thank you.
Thank you.